everyone, this is Mrs. Smart here, and we're here to talk about comparing fraction values. There's 3 different strategies we'll talk about: using the same numerator strategy, using half as a benchmark strategy, and then forming equal fractions, also known as common denominators. So first, the same numerator strategy. Numerator means how many pieces we're referring to, or shaded. And so even though the denominators are different, we can look and see that there's only 3 pieces in this whole. So that means the pieces are pretty big. Whereas in this fraction, there's 5 pieces in this whole. So that means that the pieces are smaller than the thirds. So the bigger the denominator, the more pieces fit into your whole, which means the pieces are smaller. So if you've got 2 fairly large pieces or 2 somewhat smaller pieces, it's pretty easy to see that 2/3 is larger than 2/5, because you've got 2 of both of them, and thirds are larger than fifths. Using a half as a benchmark means that, like on a number line, okay, half is right here in the middle. Well, if I were to put 5/8 on the number line, it would end up right here. It would be larger than 1/2. And if I were to put 2/5 on a number line, it would end up about here-ish. Slightly smaller than 1/2. And I know that because half of 8 is 4. So this mark here would represent 4/8. And so then 5/8 would be right here. And half of 5 is actually 2.5. So you can see in this picture, if I were to cut this straight down right here, this bottom section would get cut in half if I were to show half of this whole. So we would have 2 and then 1/2 of these pieces that would equal half. And 2 is smaller than 2.5 because it's missing the half part. So 2/5 would be on this side of half. So knowing that, I can figure out that 5/8 is bigger than 2/5, even without these pictures, just using the numbers. Because 5/8 is bigger than 4/8, which is 1/2, and 2/5 is smaller than 2.5/5, which is 1/2. So 5/8 is the bigger fraction. Now, if using half doesn't work for you, and if the numerators happen to be different as well as the denominators, you might want to try the equal fractions strategy, which is also known as the common denominator strategy. And that's just making equal fractions, finding some common denominator that you could multiply to make these 2 fractions equal sizes, because right now their pieces are not equal sizes. So on the 2/3, if I multiplied using a multiplier of 4, I would end up with 8/12. And on the 3/4, if I multiplied with a multiplier of 3, I would end up with 9/12. So if I cut them both into 12ths, that means that's their common denominator. I can see that this one is bigger because I would have 9 of these pieces and 8 of these pieces. So we can see that 3/4 would be bigger than 2/3. I hope these strategies help you with your comparing fractions work, and have a great day.